Welcome back to Age of Mythology Retold. This time we're going through the Egyptian chapters, trying to finish them on the Titan difficulty. If you're interested in the Greek part of the campaign, check out my previous video for strategies on how to beat those missions. Before we get started, I wanted to point out a cool new feature in this edition. As you progress in the campaign, your main menu will update, and here we can see we've teamed up with Amanra, and the Trojan horse is chilling in the back. Let's get started. Chapter 11, The Lost Relic. This is almost a no-build mission, as we have to defend the dig site until the workers excavate the relic. The plan here is to make a temple and a barracks. From the temple, recruit a few priests. They are great anti-myth units and they can also heal your army, making it easier to maintain a higher number of troops. From the barracks, make as many slingers and axemen as you can, until you reach a population cap and run out of resources. Just like the Trojan horse mission, the trick here is to take all of your workers and assign them to the dig site. You'll have plenty of troops to fight. Speaking of fighting, the enemy will attack from 3 corridors. Waiting near your towers for them to approach is the best solution, and once they start bringing in catapults, it will be harder to defend the towers. So let the enemies converge on the dig site, as you can fight them easily here. Also make sure to send Amanra to the catapults to keep them busy while you take care of the main attack force. The enemy will start sending myth units, starting with scarabs, but you should be done before they can reach you. Chapter 12, Light Sleeper. This one starts as a no-build mission. You have to rescue some workers and escort them safely to their village. Approach the enemy and keep your ranged units in the back, letting your heroes soak up the damage. Don't push too far into the camp, letting the enemies come to you since you don't want to aggro all the Anubites at the same time. Once they attack, focus them down one by one and you should come out of the fight with little to no losses. Gather your army and the liberated villagers and drop a save if you wish. Moving on, you'll find a relic on the path. Whatever you do, don't pick this one up. Instead, clear out the mummies and pull back your archers, leaving only your heroes next to the relic. Once you take it, a group of mummies will spawn and they can't do much against your main characters. When you reach the village and gain control of it, start gathering resources to age up. And the choice is between Bast and Plea. Plea has the weaker Wadjet unit, while I love a good serpent with wings. They're very fragile and not much use in this mission. Also, the Shifting Sands ability that lets you move units across the map doesn't work on the sword bearers, so that's a scam as well. This feels just like the earthquakes back at the Gates of Troy all over again. So we age up with Bast for the Sphinx, and since the enemy uses a lot of myth units, feel free to spam priests as they can help your heroes take out the waves of Anubites and Scorpion Men. Speaking of attack waves, keep your units in front of your base a bit forward so there's no chance they'll rush down your villagers. Don't forget that Egyptian buildings are either free or cost gold, so gold is the main resource you want to gather for them. Use the market to sell excess resources for even more gold, and age up with Sobek. Once you get to the new age, load the sword bearers into the rock transport you just got. As you attack the enemy base head on, their troops will try to defend as you fly around the fight with the rock. Once you get to the Guardian, just unload the bearers and use him to crush the opposition. The Guardian is so strong he can take out the entire army and the base with ease. Once Kemsit's army is no more, the mission is over. Chapter 13, Tug of War. This one is a fun mission, but time is of the essence. As you gain control of the units, age up with Horus and send your army of X-Men to the place where your heroes just died. Build as many camel riders as you can from the 2 strongholds in the back of the base, and once the cart with the Osiris piece has a bit of distance from the enemy group, place down your Plague of Serpents to capture it, and the Ancestors to hold back the enemy in place. Now you can send the cart towards your base, while your heroes and spawned units will keep the enemy busy. This isn't really about moving the piece back home, as it's not letting them take it further away from you. With a bit of luck, the enemy force will focus on your spawned units and you can sneak the cart away. With your heroes, try to focus down the Anubites, as those could pose a threat to your X-Men. I was a bit unlucky here as I couldn't recapture the cart before engaging the enemy main force because of some dusty ancestors and then the enemy wave and then more ancestors. After dealing with everyone and their mother, send the piece back home. Once you age up, start queuing up as many Avengers as you can. We'll need them a bit later. The enemy waves should be easy to deal with as they have to travel a very long distance to reach you. When you get to the canyon pass, keep your Avengers in the front, as their blender powers should make easy work of the enemy. Before the mission is won, there will be one last attack coming from the air, dropping troops in front of your own town, so just push the cart home and don't worry about it. Also, this is a great spot to cast all of your abilities for the Wrath of the Gods achievement, 4 god powers in 30 seconds. This mission took around 6 minutes, and I think I could have done it under 5 if I wasn't unlucky with the recapture. Chapter 14. Isis, Hear My Plea. This is a tough one. Move everyone on gold, while waiting for the villager to finish speaking with Aman-Ra. Then start claiming all the monuments around you. Anything without the blue strip is fair game. This will ensure that we'll have an obscene amount of favor this mission. Make a few priests to heal and a few spearmen to poke the enemy cavalry. After taking the relic that grants us cheaper myth units, it's time to move out. Start by going to the bottom of the map to claim another temple and the monument behind it. While your army fights the pink troops, you also meet the first enemy attack wave, which shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure you aren't fighting them in their own base and don't be afraid to use your god powers. Once this is done, move to the left side of the base and pick up the last monument and another temple, before meeting the next attack wave head-on. When the gold from the main base runs out, take the 2 mines from the first temple we've secured, as this is a safer spot and it's far enough from our base so it won't get attacked. Train a few more units, including siege towers, and heal everyone up. Now it's time to charge the enemy. Go in through the middle gap and push slowly into the base, using the lasers to melt down anyone who dares to approach. Again, the Ancestors' power is amazing here, enabling us to distract the entire enemy force while we beam them to death. Take down the Stronghold and the enemy should retreat further into the base. We also trade our base for theirs, but this isn't an issue, as our gold makers are safe and sound, tucked in a corner. Pull away from the base and head to the prepared ship, loading all your remaining troops. For me this was Aman-Ra and 20 crocodiles. We head to the top of the water to claim a small force and a port. Using the surviving workers, I build a market to buy wood and start spamming ships. We can't actually win this battle, so we use it as a distraction to sneak our transport ship and drop Aman-Ra on the island.
Free them. We must escape this city.
Chapter 15. Let's go. There is an easy way we can do this one. Defend against the enemy waves until our transport ship arrives. Once we arrive at our new base, make more workers and put them all on food. We want to age up as soon as possible with Sobek again. Build 2 siege ships and send them to the lighthouse. The enemy won't respond to it as long as the ships are behind it. And the turtles also get to stay in the middle of the sea to counter the first and only landing party that will reach us. There's a timer in the top right corner, letting you know when Khemsit plans to move the Osiris piece, and we must take it before it leaves, as it's going to get deeper into the city and it's going to be harder. Build a market and a temple, and while you defend against the enemy attack, age up and load everything into the rock, and fly them over to the big city. Land just outside the gates, and kill the enemies defending the Osiris piece. Once the gate is down, capture the piece, load it up into the rock, and fly it over to the south of the map to finish this chapter nice and easy. Don't even have to unload it. Chapter 16. Good advice. This mission has 3 parts, and the first 2 are quite easy. In the first section, we stay close to the 3 Zeus statues and let them do all the heavy lifting. In the second one, keep your shades to the side and clear out the enemies surrounding the blocked passage. Then move your army in as close to the wall as possible and turn them around. The moment you attack the passage, 2 groups of Avengers will spawn. Use the shades to deal with them, and don't hesitate to use all the god powers you have. After killing some Hydras, the final section opens up. This one is a bit harder, and we have to play with the Greeks again. Set up a base, taking the second settlement for more villagers. The enemy attacks will be relentless, so be on your guard. After building 2 fortresses, I prepare a small army to start the siege. 5 catapults, a lot of elite crossbowmen, and chimeras will serve me well. You can't rush in, since the enemy now also has the same lightning statues from the first section, plastered all over the city. Take them out from afar, and pull back to fight the waves that keep coming to your base. After taking down the fortress, move to the right entrance and apply the same strategy, taking out the enemy production structures along the way. Now, a full assault is possible. Keep your heroes in the front to tank, and with enough crossbowmen, any single unit can be shut down instantly, taking them out of the fight quickly, leaving the enemy unable to keep up the pace. With the base opened up, take down the Wonder for another win. Chapter 17, The Jackal's Stronghold. This mission marks the halfway point for the Follow the Trident campaign. The hardest missions are yet to come, but this isn't one of them. Our friends decided to split up, and Amandra's fight against Kemsit is the first. While you could play this mission normally, taking over the villages, building an army and a navy to assault Kemsit's island, there's also the following option. Bring Amandra to the first village, and once it's yours, train a Leviathan and build an armory. Shove Amandra in the fish and make your way to the left landing zone of the island. While the Leviathan is swimming, queue up bronze armor and bronze shield technologies to give Amandra just a little bit more defense. Once our hero is on the enemy island, the plan is to use her jump ability to pass the enemy walls. Jump on the Scorpion Man and continue up until you reach the second gate. Skipping it with the help of a nearby chariot archer. Now make a beeline towards the box. Even if she dies, as long as it's just close enough, it will count as a victory. You just have to love RTS games and the get this unit to that location objectives. Chapter 18, A Long Way from Home. Now this one is painful and it took me a few attempts to figure it out. The main issue consists of the enemy attack waves, which can quickly overwhelm you, and around 15 minutes, a giant death wave with elephants and champion units will knock on your door, so here's a strategy that works. As soon as you gain control of the village, send 1 villager to the right side of the map, 1 just left of your base, and 2 to the far left side. While they're walking, train 5 priests and as many villagers as you can, setting them to work on farms. When your builders reach the passages, block all of them with walls. When your priests are ready, seek out and destroy the tomb on the right that will spawn mummies if not dealt with. Use the priests to focus down the mummies before they can curse your army, and once the temple is destroyed, move your army out of the way, since 2 scarabs will spawn and it's best to fight them with Chiron and the priests only. When the walls are done, bring back your workers except the 2 on the left, which are going to build another settlement, allowing us to create more villagers faster, and the best part, it also has a gold mine. Now that all of the passages are blocked except the one in front of our base, the AI will not attack your walls as long as there is a clear path to your base. We can use this to our advantage to funnel the enemy units into a single front, build a barracks to train slingers, and as many houses as you can. They're free anyway, and make a few monuments as well. The first enemy attack will hit now, and after every fight let your priests heal up the army to reduce losses. Since we don't start in the heroic age, we'll have to make towers for now, and deal with the incoming attack waves, as well as the mummies, which are also going to attack your rear, just keep that in mind. It's easier to defend against those rear attacks than to launch an attack on the tomb while we have to defend constantly against the main enemy. Age up with Sobek, as we're going to need upgrades that will boost our building HP and flying transports. Keep focusing on the economy while producing slingers, and raise a Migdol stronghold when possible to train a few camel riders. Building multiple towers and strongholds will help you defend the waves. However, beware. If you block the enemy's path, they will start knocking down your walls. Don't be afraid to buy and sell resources if you happen to have more than one of one particular material. Focus on aging up again and take Osiris, our Lord and Savior. When that's done, upgrade your pharaoh to his son. With Egyptian Jesus around, the enemy attack waves will melt down in no time. Continue to fortify the position, and when the gold runs out, take the mine to the right side of the map, while also building the rest of the monuments, stockpiling as much favor as possible. It's time to switch production to elephants, while also getting all the upgrades for them. Again, I want to stress how important it is to leave enough space for the enemy army, as even a few elephants with some crocodile carcasses can be enough to motivate the AI to attack the walls. So keep your army to the side and wait for them to come to you. It's time to strike against the enemy temples and remaining tombs, construct a siege workshop and load 3 catapults into the rock transport, and send them to snipe the enemy production structures, the remaining old tombs, as well as the last temples to the left. At one point, the original stronghold was lost, so the next one was built a bit more to the side, allowing the enemy free reign to walk into the base. Once you have enough favor, get a second son of Osiris, and with 2 of them and a healthy army of elephants and priests, as well as all the upgrades we can get, we march on the Tamarisk tree. When the location is relatively secured, pull all the workers and send them to chop down the tree. And in about 5 minutes it was split open, revealing the Osiris piece, and the mission ends. Gods, this really is the hardest mission in the campaign so far. Chapter 19. Watch that first step. Arkantos and Ajax get to fight Chamos. Start by going down to the port, leaving the heroes to deal with the myth units, while the army focuses on the elephants. Don't feel pressured to focus the stronghold under construction, as they won't have enough time to finish it anyway. Steal the enemy ships and transport your army to the other side of the map, where our base is located. Once you get control, build a market to sell all of your wood, and with enough gold to build a Migdol stronghold and age up with Osiris again. While aging up, build a temple as well. Deal with the only attack wave, and train a rock. Load up your heroes and priest, the son of Osiris, and as many spearmen as the bird can carry. Set out over the enemy strongholds, casting Eclipse to look cool while doing it. And while you can't land on top of Chamos because of the monuments that block divine powers, the space near the temple is fair game. Once you're out, make your way to Chamos, and 3 hits from the son of Osiris is all it takes to win the mission. Chapter 20. Where they belong. It's finally time to join the pieces and resurrect Osiris. Start by setting your workers to chop the wood that separates the 2 bases, eat the goats and make a dock, as you'll have 5 fishing spots in the small lake next to the base. Construct a barracks and a siege workshop in the left base to train spearmen and 2 siege towers. Until the wall of palm trees is down, we can start pushing forward, taking out the enemy gate, as well as the temple. When there's enough space, move your 2 pieces across, so all 3 of them are in the left base. Train a few spearmen in the other base as well, since it will help delay the enemy attacking it. While in the main one, raise a Migdol stronghold to train elephants, using a market to supplement the gold cost. Age up with Osiris yet again, and push to the enclosed space on the right. It's best to wait here until you have the son of Osiris. Make another siege tower for safety, and move all of your pieces in position. The enemy will attack your base, but we don't have a use for it anymore. Use the siege tower to break the wall leading to the pyramid, while supporting them with your army. Once inside, use the siege towers to clear a path on the right side of the pyramid, while your army keeps the enemy busy on the left side. Once 2 pieces are in position, Arkantos will arrive from the east. Leave your army behind and run with the son of Osiris and the siege towers to meet him. When they reunite, push forward towards the enemy base, while slowly rolling the last piece into position. And with this last effort, Osiris is reborn, and we get to see him zap people. Once the mission is over, the Egyptian chapters are done, and the Osiris Reborn achievement will unlock, leaving us with the Pigs mission and the Norse portion of the story to tackle in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. I saw a lot of people struggling with chapter 18, and I hope this small guide will help you overcome it. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on the new edition so far. Take care.